And we're back here at the Goes and Friends YouTube channel once again, joined by Nash Talks Texas, again by Mr. Drew Kelson. Welcome back, gentlemen. Everyone doing okay?
All good, man.
Yeah, I'm curious. I want to know how this all goes. I've been thinking for like the last 2 hours. We decided, so we're drafting teams tonight. We're drafting offensive starting lineups from all-time Texas football players. Doesn't matter when it is. Doesn't matter who it is. If we want them, we can draft them. Starting 11, any personnel can be run. So with that being said, you could have a 2 or 3 backfield. You could run 5 wide receivers, no backs, and no tight ends if you wanted. You can have 2 or 3 if you want. Obviously, and defense video, and we will go let you guys vote, see who you think has the best. Mr. Nash Talks Texas is a little spreadsheet that will be popping up and showing you guys, kind of letting y'all follow along with the draft picks. Welcome, Mr. Chris Bennett. You told me you're no good at picks, my man, but I'm still going to be asking you there in the chat for some help at some point. So get ready for that. Matt Lee, welcome to the show, my man. Appreciate you being here. But with that being said, gentlemen, are y'all ready to go ahead and get this draft kicked off?
Let's do it.
All righty. Nash, you're good up there? Let's rock. All right, Mr. Coach Hayes, appreciate you being here. Georgia Bulldog checking in. Come learn a little bit about, I'm sure you know a lot about Texas football history to be able to coach as much ball as you know. Welcome, Matt. It's good to see you here, brother. But here we go. All right, so the draft order will be, and we're doing a snake format, so we will go 1 through 3 and then 3 through 1. So whoever's picking third, which is going to be myself, will have 2 picks in a row. I guess from the odd to even rounds. We're just going to get into it. Drew Kelson, national champion Longhorn. Drew Kelson will be picking first. Nash Talk second, Texas second, myself third. And with that being said, Drew, you, my man, are on the clock. Take as much time as you need.
I mean, y'all made it pretty easy for me. Just teed it up for me.
We can't hear you again, Drew.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, bud. Take your time.
What is going on? Is that it?
Drew brought himself another minute. He's like, that clock, forget that. I'm going to get one more time.
Is that it right there?
Nothing yet, brother.
Oh, Lord. How are we coming? Hello.
Nothing yet. No, sir.
Oh, no. I can make it easy for you.
It's a hard pick. I get it, man. Take your time. You hear him on the screen. Nash, can you hear him? Why can't I hear him? Okay, so it's just me. All
so
right,
Nash
well,
can hear me.
That's not what I wanted to hear.
Oh, well,
Let's
then
see here.
Everyone hears me on stream. I was like, okay, cool. See, Ghost, you got me going crazy over here.
I'll get my All right, that's my mistake. I guess we made you draft. How many times did you draft while I was out?
No. I didn't draft at all. I mean, my decision is easy. My favorite Longhorn all time would be my first pick. His name is Ricky Williams.
That is a great first pick. Ricky Williams, Heisman Trophy winning Ricky Williams is off the board. I didn't know how the first pick was going to go, but I don't know why I never crossed my mind to think that Ricky was going to get taken first. Drew Kelson selects Ricky Williams. Nash, you're on the board, my man.
Now we can't hear Nash.
Okay, we both can't hear Nash. Okay, so we're good.
Wait, okay, no, I was actually muted. That was my fault. I was typing over here, so I'm not. I don't want people hearing my typing, but
delays.
I mean, it's too easy for this one. I'm not gonna make anybody wait. It's Vince Young. If you want to win football games. You get Vince on your team.
I mean, that's the man that lost 2 games at the collegiate level. It's really hard to argue with you there. Can't imagine, being in field level, seeing that man play every practice, every game. Drew had to be pretty dang cool. So Ricky Williams 1, Vince Young 2, and I'm gonna probably surprise a few people when I do this, but with the third pick, and it's something that I have to do, but also I think that it's going to be a start to a good team. I am from the little town of Wortham, Texas, and so is Big Leonard Davis, second round overall pick from the Arizona Cardinals, and I believe the 2002 NFL Draft. His mother lived next door to me growing up. Saw Leonard all the time. So with the third pick, and starting at left tackle for the Fighting Ghosts will be Leonard Davis. And I got to make another pick back to back. Okay, now I wasn't prepared for this part. All right, so I'm going to go ahead here. And Nash, I'm sorry to do this to you, but I'm going to take Bijan Robinson off the board. Elite skill set. We're going to throw it to him. We're going to let him run it. We might let him throw it. He probably pouring the water and the Gatorade on the sidelines too. Bijan off the board. Bijan and Leonard Davis, 1 and 2 for me. So we go back.
You see how Ghost was that? You see how Ghost was acting like he wasn't sure. We put him in a tough spot.
Yeah, no, but he fired off real quick, didn't he?
Real quick, you know exactly.
Real quick. He said, "We're running right off Leonard Davis."
Well, I mean, I had a pretty decent idea.
We're on that Bijan counter right to the left side. You know?
Nobody's stopping that.
Oh man, I had a strong feeling that Leonard might still be there at 3. If I did go at 3. So to me, ultimately, whether I went 2 or 3 was always going to be Big Leonard, the hometown guy, 2001 draft. Thanks for the correction on that. And yeah, Joshy, thanks for being here. 2 streams in 2 days. We are back, hopefully, to everyday content. But Nash, my man, you're back on the clock, sir.
I mean, I could go a couple ways. I think that you probably did take my Bijan Robinson pick. I probably would have gone there, but because I had a strategy coming in, but I'm thinking I might double back on it. I don't know. I'm gonna follow with what Drew did, and I'm gonna take my favorite Longhorn, Roy Williams. That's the guy that made me fall in love with Longhorn football. You got to have your big body possession guy, wide receiver.
I like it.
See, now I'm scrambling because that was my next pick.
Okay.
Now you make me feel like a genius, man. Now I feel.
Let's say, yeah, that's a compliment there.
Roy Williams is 101. I mean, if you look at any of the receivers on this list, and we've had some really great ones and some that, I mean, even recent, right? Still haven't seen anything like Roy. Just for size, speed, explosiveness, elusiveness, you can run them on reverses. You can do it all.
Yeah, Roy was him. I mean, I think every Longhorn fan, at least for a little while there, wanted the Oakley sticker with the visor on there. At least Longhorn kid that was growing up watching the Horns wanted the Oakley visor. And at least I know I had my dad out there running around looking for that thing. But that's a good pick, Nash.
Where do we go from here? Well, you said any formation, right?
Yeah, whatever you want to do, Coach.
Oh man,
you want to run wishbone? You can do that.
Right, I know, right? I mean, it's really, for me, it comes down to best player, just best players available, right? I would have to choose, because you chose Roy. I don't need a quarterback yet, do I? I'm speaking through my draft strategy. All right, time's up. I'm going to go with my gut here and go with another running back.
Don't do it.
Safety.
Oh, my gosh. What a powerful backfield. Oh, man. You're running for –
He said Cedric
Benson.
Ooh.
He did not share the backfield, but Roy Williams did for a little while. I mean, Ricky Williams did at least earlier on. So I'm going to pretend that this is a strategy that could work, but I'm going traditional. I'm not taking any fullbacks, so I'm going 2 receivers, and I'm going just back to. I guess we'll go 20 personnel.
Yeah, I like it. But you get one more.
21 personnel. We got to decide. I don't know who my OC is going to be, but we're going to figure this out. You can't make these guys work. I don't know what to tell you.
I think we're all deciding to.
Here's the deal too. I think, man, you could switch either one at fullback. You just run I formation, put either one of those dudes at fullback, and you got yourself a plan.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that you got a lot of options on the table when you got Ricky Williams and Cedric Benson in the backfield. That opens a wide array of things for sure. But yeah, I think we're all playing OC on the fly here at the moment, which is a lot of fun. In the comments, love seeing all the suggestions and the picks. It's definitely giving me some ideas. A couple names that somehow I'd forgotten. Not because of them. It's just age does that to us, I guess. But Drew, you get one more pick here, my man.
Give me Daniel Colt McCoy.
Ooh, that's tough. Ooh, that's tough.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought about going with Colt McCoy over Vince Young, but and particularly because I have a particular strategy that I'm going with on this draft. But you got to choose a winner.
Honestly, is it the best strategy? You need to have 4 wide receivers with Colt. Like, you could actually do that with Colt. You can go 5 wide, you can go 4 wide, but Colt can also distribute the ball with the best of them. I'll have some guys he can feed the rock to. I'm not
gonna try and spoil anything, but I completely agree.
I just need my team to beat yours.
All right, Nash. No pressure. Round 3, pick 2. What's it looking like?
Yeah, put me on the big screen.
Big screen for the big pick here, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna lock him down. Kelvin Banks.
Kelvin Banks. I mean, that's a great pick in my opinion.
Yeah.
You just got to get that. You got to get the. I mean, after you took Leonard Davis, there's only one left tackle that's next up.
Yeah, no, I think that's a solid pick. I mean, especially when you consider, let's take one more look at who you took first. You got Vince Young, Roy Williams. Yeah, I mean that's arguably about as strong as you can do. I don't know, both of you guys. I think y'all are off to pretty solid starts. That's going to be tough to beat, but we'll see what we can do.
Now you get your back-to-back, and you're about to roll back with just the playing strategy you had.
Well, I mean, I talked a lot about him on the show last night with Nash, and he is my personal favorite Longhorn of all time, a guy that I wish I had when I was an OC. But we're going to go with Jamal Charles. Much like Mr. Kelson himself, we're going to open the door up to doing a lot out of the backfield. And then this might surprise some, but you guys have already taken the best 2 Texas quarterbacks in history, so I feel like I don't need to draft a quarterback for quite a while. I guess I don't have to. I can wait until my 11th pick. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and knock out another O-line spot. I think that Lyle Sinline is the best center in Texas football history. I'm rocking with the big dog. So we second O-line pick here in the first 4 might not be super sexy out there to all you fans, but we've got a plan. All right. And so Lyle's a part of that for the first pick there. And
that's a great value pick.
I appreciate that. I don't know if if you would have told Lyle Sinline that hey, we got three guys, including a former teammate, that they're going to draft the all-time starting offensive lineup. If you would have gone round 3, pick 3, but I'm sure you'd be pretty happy to hear it. So
there's not many options like Lyle, man.
Well, especially at Texas, you like when you're going down to the center position, it's a pretty short list. It ain't long.
That's right.
I don't know if I know another center.
Jake Majors.
Jake Majors.
So many centers that banged up, and we've had so many different bodies throughout so many different seasons at center. And so when I call Lyle the best center of kind of like you, Drew, when I call Lyle the best center of, in my opinion, Texas football history, it's like, I'm only thinking of a couple here that I can actually, remember them playing for multiple years and contributing. But no offense, Matt, but Chris Sims is gone. He's already been drafted. He's over there. He's in the back. No, I'm kidding. I might draft Sims. I got options at number 3. There's a lot of different opinions on who that third best quarterback for Texas would be. So we'll see. But all right, pick 4 for myself. Do I do it? I do. I have to. Another teammate of Mr. Kelson's. We're taking number 16, David Thomas, double-digit catches in the Rose Bowl. So tight end spot covered for me, or one of my tight end spots. All right, so Nash has us updated right here. You can see our teams. For myself, Leonard Davis, Bijan Robinson, Jamal Charles, and Lyle Sinline. For Nash, Vincent Young, Roy Williams, Big Kelvin Banks, and Mr. Kelson, Ricky Williams, Cedric Benson, and Colt McCoy. And so I think we were trying to figure out last night what they called Cedric Benson, and it was Little Ricky, wasn't it? That's what they called Ceddy. I think they called Ceddy Little Ricky the same way they called Ricky Little Earl.
Yeah, especially when he was in high school.
In high school, right. So,
like,
all right, Nash, back to the big screen. You go, my friend. Let's hear that fourth pick you have.
Well, I'm because you're kind of screwing me out of the running back position, and I got some good sleepers I'm going to go with here, but I'm just going to go ahead and hammer that offensive line home. Shout out Casey Studdard right back there. I'm
no man.
OG. Yeah. You want to screw me over with Jamal Charles? You want to screw me with Jamal Charles, and you're going to get screwed over with Casey Studdard.
I'm telling you, if it wasn't David Thomas, it was Casey Studdard.
Look, you need a guy that's going to show up in cargo pants and flip flops and drunk to the Texas Longhorn set with Rod Babers talking pregame. Like, I mean, those are some of my favorite pregame broadcasts when Casey Studdard would show up.
Oh man, it's a great pick.
See, y'all know some guys, man, because y'all are bringing it to the depths of this is why we have a pancake factory. I need a pancake factory to keep up with you guys.
Yeah,
but I already have my next pick. I'm glad you didn't take him, but I got to go with my boy Big Bank, Justin Blaylock.
There it is. That offensive line is all going to be gone here shortly.
Yeah, O-line's about to be gone here soon. There's another player I really want to take, but I think I can get value on him later. But there's going to be value in other places later. Let me see. Which one do I want to roll with here? So I got Big Bank. And, gosh, am I really going to go this route?
I don't know why I'm so nervous to hear you pick, but I am nervous.
Well, there's the goal. The goal. The goal is to beat you guys, right? I need my squad to beat your squad.
Absolutely.
And so I'm weighing the sentiment of a player versus the accolades of maybe another. Both along the offensive line. So I'm gonna roll with. I'm really gonna roll with my boy Jay Scott. Jonathan Scott, offensive tackle.
I tell you that era, all those old linemen, they're getting snagged, man. There were some units. Absolutely.
I have two key backs. I need my line to be right.
Absolutely agree. You got that line has to be right there.
I never thought I'd be smiling after losing Jonathan Scott. I never thought it. My next pick is going to be pretty easy. We're going Tommy Novus. I'm getting that left guard solidified.
I'm going to trust that he was as good as people say he was.
Hey, you know what? We're going off of one. We're going off of fan votes. All I know is Tommy Novus is like legendary, untouchable status. So and I can technically put him on my defensive team too.
Yeah,
if I want to.
Yeah,
he is truly that guy.
You found a little bit of a loophole there. That's a quality, man.
I mean, I'll also say this too. Dick Butkus said that was the hardest football player that he's ever played against. So, I mean, that's kind of almost like a shit right there.
That's a hell of a compliment, man. That is tough to beat. Oh man, I got to make two picks now, and these are not. Y'all started dipping into my O-line talent pool, and so I'm struggling a little bit here. Let's see. All right, so Nash, I think I need David Thomas added. Yeah, I need David Thomas right there, please.
DT.
Right?
Yeah, sure. Oh, man. Y'all didn't know this would make you nervous, huh? It's funny off the fly.
No.
When you just
Yeah, no, you think it's no, it's just drafting Longhorn. No, it's actually like they're
kind of stuck for real quick. Nash, are we missing anyone? Just making sure, guys, because I feel like y'all should have one more pick than I do. Because if I make 2 picks now, I'll have 2 more than you gentlemen on the spreadsheet.
You made an extra one earlier that we didn't count. I think you made it like the last round. So Lyle Sendline's your last pick before David Thomas.
Okay, so I'm taking David Thomas as one of mine now, but that's still not fair because one of y'all could have taken that guy. Oh man,
no, that's fine. I wouldn't.
No, we're good.
All right, we're good. Okay, as long as we're good. Sorry, first time drafting Texas all-time team 3-man snake draft, but we're figuring it out. So we'll do 1 pick here, and I think we're gonna go with my guy. We have to go with my guy. We're going Jordan Shipley. We're gonna continue. We're gonna continue to build speed, explosives. I think with the backfield that we have, and now with Shipley, you're going to have to defend every inch of grass on the football field. So good start. I like where we're at. And when Nash gets back, we'll go back to him. But Drew, how you feeling about your squad so far, bro?
I love my squad. I have really some of my favorite players on it. So I can't go wrong. Ricky and Sed B were just 2 that always stood out for me. I mean, when you talk about Texas football being something that it's like the doorstep to the university, or just Texas athletics being the doorstep to the university, it gives the university exposure. People get exposed to the school through sports. I mean, watching Ricky play and then watching Sed B play the state championship 3 years in a row. I mean, my first high school football games I ever watched on TV were Sed B running wild. Yeah.
That's really cool.
So then I see him go to Texas. I wouldn't have been as connected to that team or just to Texas at all if it wasn't for Sed B and Ricky Williams. Sed B was a dude.
Yeah. We talked great running back debate last night, and the host, Horns Takes Pod, Sean Redfern, he's a big fan of Cedric Benson for great reason, obviously, and I mean, it's really cool when you think about Ricky, guy comes from Southern Cal, San Diego, comes to Austin, does things a lot differently, I'll say, than your standard average collegiate running back. And you have Cedric Benson, who's over in the Panhandle and Midland, and like you said, 3-time state champion, played his last state championship at DKR, kind of not homegrown, but everybody in the state of Texas knew who Cedric Benson was. So definitely a really, really cool story. And your backfield, I can't wait to have to pick a defense next. Everything that I do next week is going to be about defending that backfield of yours, because with all due respect, Nash, no matter what you do over there, if I can't stop Cedric Benson and Ricky Williams, sounds impossible, you're cooked. So maybe we get you in a shootout. Those legs get tired, buddy.
Got to get a lot of linebackers. Got to get a lot of linebackers.
We're going to play the Bear defense and just send heat. But all right, Mr. Nash, you are back on the clock, my friend.
Back on the clock, and I think I'm going to start going with my plan now. Start, hammering it home, because we're getting to the, where we're, the teams are starting to get some, get some shape, get some form. I'm going to take Xavier Worthy.
I like it. I like it, dude. That's solid. I wanted to take X as wide receiver 1 just because he's a game changer, but couldn't pass up. Dang it! Now I'm a little bit of regret. Nice pick, Nash. Can you get the spreadsheet back up for us?
Oh yeah, did I?
I don't know where. I don't know what. It disappeared.
No, yeah, I ran. I almost flooded my kitchen, and I tried to disable my camera real quick, and I took off the screen share. So
there we go. We're back. All right, Mr. Kelson, you have 2 picks. No rush at all whatsoever, my man. Take your time.
Okay. So I'm struggling here because if you look at wide receivers, man, it's just funny when you look at the board. You're like, gosh, man, it's
not a big wide receiver school.
Well, yeah, because you look at all-time wide receivers, like All-Americans.
Mm-hmm.
man, we gotta do something about that, Sark. We gotta figure that out.
I think he's on it.
I think so. I think so. But hey. Okay, sorry about that. I think I'm just you realize you look historically like, okay, where do we need to make up the gap on some things?
Absolutely.
There. I am going to go with another. Goodness, I don't have any receivers yet. I really need to pick one at some point, don't I? But I'm not. I am going to go with. I just want to make sure I'm clear on this. Are punters on the offense as well? I don't intend to punt much.
I don't know. I say we treat it like
would definitely say no.
Like a 1st and 10 situation. Like, who are you trotting out there for your average, 1st and 10 or average, series that you're running on offense?
Here, you know what we should do? We should do a special teams one.
We should have a special teams board.
There we go. We'll do it. Absolutely.
But we got to decide if we're going to pick that next week or this week, because I do think there's value. There are some players I would pick based on just value of the position and how good they were.
Okay.
Anyway,
I say, I mean, why not? Let's do it tonight. I mean, it's just. Are we talking about a special teams 11, or are we just talking about?
I'm going to keep building I'm going to keep building my roster. I was talking about a specialists.
Okay.
Like an actual specialist, someone who is, I consider one-of-one. But we're not going to go there today. Gosh, it's taking me a lot of time. Y'all just let me talk this much about it.
No, you're good, man, because you're asking a question.
I'm going to go with. Whoa, I just lost my guy. Wow. Am I really going to go that route? No. Sorry, guys. I lost my link.
You're good, brother.
I need another tackle. I am going to go with, gosh, I'm really about to say this. Derek Dockery, right tackle.
All right. Hey, build that line. Derek Dockery off the board. Still got one more pick. Don't rush. I'm struggling here, and I'm a few picks behind.
See?
I got to take you guys down. We got to move the football.
Now I'm just going to start going with my favorite players, just guys I love to watch play. Can I have someone can I have a healthy – I can't believe I'm really about to say this. Colin Johnson.
Hey,
that's a
red zone target right there.
One.
That is a red zone target that you want.
I think also you saying healthy too, because if he's healthy, right? Like I remember going into his senior year, that was a guy everybody was talking about, like 1st round wide receiver potential, and then he got injured, and then also you want to talk about just like a guy that loves UT. Playing through injury, like he gave us his everything. He's one of those guys that gave it.
Good dude, man. Good, really good dude. Love watching him play. Didn't drop balls. You throw it to him. Mm-hmm. If you're gonna have in my offense, running 20 personnel, 21, just depends. 21. I may decide if I'm gonna get a tight end or not. We'll figure that out. You need a guy who can not stretch the field, but when you throw him the ball, he has the radius. Like he just his catch radius is wide, and he catches the ball. Really great player. Very
few people have the just special God-given talent that he has.
Well, and you look at Roy Williams' size and explosiveness. It's like that combination is one thing, but Collins' size and his hands and just ability to catch the ball covered didn't really matter. Good player, man.
True.
So for me, I'm gonna, the game is won and lost in the trenches, and I might as well get that last center position squared away. I'm gonna take Jake Majors. Take the football sideboard.
I love it. Jake Majors off the board. Is that our first 2024 Longhorn that has been taken tonight?
Kelvin Banks.
No,
Kelvin. Big. Yep. I missed on that one, obviously. And earlier, Drew, you took Derek Dockery, correct?
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm going to take Cedric Dockery at guard there. And for my second pick, and I'm sorry about this, Nash, I have a feeling it might get you. We're going to go with that dual tight end set, and we're going to run Gunnar Helm out there.
I was going to pick him later on, but I'll be honest, I was.
Wait. Hold on, pause, Nash. You haven't written it down yet, so I'm gonna allow myself to.
Okay. Oh.
Well,
okay.
I can't run 2 tight ends and 2 running backs. I can't. I mean, I'm getting silly here. Wow, taking Gunnar off the board. I can't believe I just did that. I'm so. If y'all will allow it,
shocked, man.
I just feel. I mean, what am I doing here? What year is it? I can't just. Committing to the 2 bag.
You're not a GM.
No,
you're not a GM.
I'm not.
He just made the call to Gunnar Helm. Said, "Hey, we got you, bud."
Honestly,
he's the dude that
gets the call.
I'm the Nico Harrison after everybody finds out how I did this 22-year-old kid on draft day.
Yeah, no, their ESPN has the shot set up in the kid's living room, and GMs would go in a different direction.
But he's a dog. But I mean, stylistically, I think he would understand that he's trying to accomplish more than we can probably accomplish right now with me on this team. He's that selfless. He's a great guy. I'm also trying to cope here and talk myself out of maybe making a bad move. Yeah, well, that's a hell of a spin, right? I did my absolute best. Let's do this here. I love the guy, and also from a small town right down the road there in Central Texas, former Mart Panther, Mr. Quan Cosby. Welcome to Ghost, the Fighting Ghosts. Quan, obviously, that guy's a winner, and he's not gonna just blow you away with the measurables or anything. But if anybody's got heart and knows how to get things done at the wide receiver position, give me Quan. I mean, we got the tandem back. We got Jordan and Quan back. I mean, quit playing with us right now, guys.
If only you had Cole.
That is funny.
Trades are allowed. Do you want my non-existent quarterback for Colt McCoy, Drew? We'll give you my.
Do you want Quinn Ewers for Colt?
This GM thing is going rough for your boy over here. But all right, Nash, you're back on the clock, my friend.
All right. Nash has it figured out.
Yeah. I can just look at the board behind. Look at all the lists of wide receiver. Look at everything behind me. I think this is where he was probably gonna stay on the board for a long while, but the team's starting to get to the starting form. I'm getting my guy that's going to make my offense work. Okay, you got Vince Young. I've drafted an amazing offensive line, in my opinion, top notch.
Top notch.
Vince Young running the option with Eric Metcalf.
I love it, man. We got Tommy Novus and Eric Metcalf both here, represented on Nash Talks Texas team. Hey, a lot of speed, man. It'll be a problem.
Versatility.
Who's the OC? We run a wishbone, flex bone.
The OC is Nash Talks Texas.
I would say that's your first back. Okay, that's your first back. All right.
Okay, man.
That's tough right there, Nash. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't know if I made it easy for him, but he didn't make it easy for me.
Oh, man.
All right. Let's see what we have next. What am I missing? I have 2 running backs. I have quarterback. I got Justin. I got my lineman. I got my receiver. Talk about getting a crew back together. I'm going to go with another player. I can't believe I'm going this route because there are some really, really great players on this list that I'm about to skip over. But this is a guy who always stood out to me, and I felt like anytime we threw him the ball, he did what he needed to do, and that is Lil Jordan Humphrey.
Mismatch nightmare. Hey, man, in the red zone, you have Colin Johnson and Lil Jordan. This is kind of pardon my language, just getting to be a little bullshit here. He's got Cedric Benson. I mean, imagine the ex-national champion that comes out here and knows how to draft a team better than a couple of casuals. But, yeah, look at that. This is Cole McCoy with Benson and Williams backfield. Colin Johnson, Lil Jordan, Humphrey. That's an issue because you can line Lil Jordan up in the slot. Obviously, you can play Colin out there. Good luck.
Not even that, dude. You can just also think about like Lil Jordan Humphrey can throw the football. You can get tricky on us.
Listen, kid's a dog.
We're in trouble.
He's one guy that I was like, it's one of those things where I was really upset that he went and didn't, because I'm like, look, he could have had a better. He could have got drafted if he had stayed at Texas. But at the same time, to be in the NFL while going on undrafted free agent as long as he has, man, that dude's he's a dog.
I'm laughing because I think I was so focused on my draft that I completely forgot that Nash realized that Nash drafted Tommy Nobis at left guard.
Oh, you were about to go Nobis?
No, Nobis is a defensive player.
Oh yeah.
Chris just called it out, but it just completely.
Oh yeah, no. That's what I said earlier. I can technically have them both on my defensive team too.
Oh yeah,
good linebacker to have.
No doubt.
Are you gonna? I mean, but by default, with you having Nobis here, do you have to have him on your defensive side? Like, does drafting him automatically mean you have to play him both ways?
You don't have to, but y'all don't get him.
That's not fair though, because now you get to sub in Tommy Nobis on your defense as a sub, and you get depth in Tom. That's tough, man.
That might be some depth. I mean, you never know.
That's just the brilliance of the pick, my man. So Tommy Nobis, who where are we at now? Who is
it's on me? I think I have my next pick. My next pick is Gunnar Helm.
Gunnar Helm,
stolen.
That was the route I was wanting to go. He's a good player.
He's a great player.
The next level.
I have no comment. Good pick. But man. So we need. All right, Nash. Take your time, brother.
Well, because I'm getting close to where because we're obviously gonna go into some bench guys, get some depth on the team.
Yeah, let's build a roster.
Yeah, build a good roster here. But my team obviously is starting to shape and have some identity. I'm gonna get a guy that is going to solidify that identity, and I'm gonna go with Marquise Goodwin.
Holy speedster!
Yeah,
you can do a few things with him.
Y'all better start drafting them fast cornerbacks right now. That's all I know.
You're taking the top off the defense. You're just
Buddy has
bench, just put it up there.
X and Marquise.
Look, just let Vince and just let him improvise. Just let him improvise with Eric Metcalf. He's also technically kind of a little bit of a wide receiver himself. I mean, there might not be he might be the most elusive player at the university to have ever played at Texas. He's good.
He's good. There's no doubt. Golly, man, this has gotten so hard now to where I was just staring at the board only makes it harder. Matt, appreciate you tuning in, man. Enjoy that family and that family time. Oh man, Deonta Foreman, huh? Tough. I want to just get this O-line solidified, but I don't think I'm going to do it. We've got 2 picks here, and I've been thinking a little bit since I just absolutely made a mockery out of taking Gunner and then unselecting Gunner. And so I'm going to make the situation even worse here, and I'm going to take Jermichael Finley. We're about to get wild. I know sacrilege. What I just did. There's no excuses for it. Blake Ham will probably never answer another text from me, but We're going Jermichael Finley there.
J. Mike got some depth, so you can run 12 personnel.
We're gonna run 12 personnel, and then we're gonna have Jamal Charles lined up in the slot. We might jet sweep, we might not, but we're gonna run Jamal across when fake jet sweep, probably 25 snaps a game. But no, I mean with these two backs, I feel like I could still run 5 wide sets. I could split these tight ends out. We could actually, it's okay. I was kind of panicking for a minute after seeing these teams that these gentlemen over here are constructing, but there's a path to victory here. So with that being said, where are we at? We've 1, 2, 3, 92 more picks. I need help with the chat. I need help with my quarterback. QB, I'm not going to take it now. I have another couple of picks before I will, but Chris Sims,
there's only
Quinn
one choice.
Ewers, Major Applewhite, Sam Ellinger. Throw me a name. Throw me a couple names. But for now, I know I need. Hey.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah.
Hey.
If we're being honest.
It's hard not to. I saw it earlier in the comments. I'm like, oh man, it's getting to be.
No, I'm. So I said also like it was. I'm known as the Quinn Ewers guy, right? I'll get that fixed, but I'm known as the Quinn Ewers guy, and I easily was going to go Arch Manning if I didn't get Vince Young or Colt McCoy.
Fair enough. Brother Clint, my first pick of this draft was Leonard Davis. He was my next door neighbor for 2 or 3 years before he graduated high school. But yeah, so Big Leonard is off the board. But I need help with another offensive lineman. I'm at that point now where, all right, we're just gonna do it. We are going to take Sam Ellinger. We're ripping it. We're taking Sam. Welcome back, Nash.
What's up, bro?
We're taking Sam. Now. We are going to be able to run the football out of that position. That's the main thing. And I think that he'll be a little more effective in old goal line situations than Mr. Manning. For now, down the road, I expect Arch to be, end up the better quarterback.
So Tom Herman's your OC.
I was about to say, I mean, well, hey, Drew, look at his lineup. Offensive line has been completely neglected. He might as well be Tom.
I took an offensive lineman with my first pick. That's a great dig. That's a hell of a comment there. It really is. But I took 2 before anyone else had any, and then I've neglected it absolutely since. You can have that. So that's my 2 picks. Jermichael and Sam. I mean, I like where we're at. I think we're okay.
All right, I'm scared because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get sniped on this guy, on either of the guys I want. But one of these guys is like an actual childhood personal friend of mine, so I got to pick this guy before he gets taken. I'm gonna shore up my right tackle spot and go Calvin Anderson.
No, Big Calvin.
Big Calvin.
Oh, no, that was a terrible pick because he's already got tackle. So, crap.
I mean, let's see. Right tackle. You got tackle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's on me. All right. I know what my next pick is going to be. More of a utility type player. I can put him anywhere. He can make plays for me. It's going to be Ramon Taylor.
Golly. I almost did that instead of Jermichael just because golly.
Honestly, there's certain players, once you see them in person, it doesn't even matter what the stats are. It doesn't even matter what the production, like there's nothing else to say. Like, I know what I can do with him.
Man, Drew, they're coming for you on the offensive line. That's tough. That's a tough comment right there. Buddy, you can tell, my guy Clint doesn't remember old Justin Blaylock, Jonathan Scott, Derek Dockery.
every offensive lineman I have was an All-American.
Look, yeah, the edges are set. Okay, the edges are set.
So All-American offensive lineman. If we have 3 All-Americans on the offensive line, I don't know what to tell you.
You know what? That's I got my plan to take on Drew's team on defense. I already got my defensive draft plan.
That's solid.
And I need a center, so I'm going to go with the one and the only Houston's own, the one and only center who is an All-American for the University of Texas, Gene Chilton.
Well done.
85 or 86.
That man said that Lyle Sinline comment. I disagree. Gave the facts to back it up too.
All-American.
Gene,
don't look at his measurables. But,
you know,
but yeah.
Oh man, we've got work to do.
Crap.
All-American offensive line. I'm just telling you.
All right. You know what?
Salty.
Jake, I'm sorry you just got benched. We're putting Stump in there. Get Dan Neal in there.
Oh man, here we go.
I know he's a guard, but he's playing center today.
I must say, if you got a guy that can get in there and do a little of each.
I'm sorry, Jake. It just life's a bitch, ain't it?
I'm taking another offensive lineman that can do a little bit of offensive guard, and a little bit of tackle, Mr. Trey Allen. And so we took that comment to heart, Nash. Can't just slip that offensive line look like a Herman unit. We got to step it up. Not that any of these are, but that was such a good pick, Vermont Taylor. Golly, I thought I could get back. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's do Devin Duvernay.
That's a good one.
A speed merchant, a guy again that can stretch the field, and should have a pretty good rapport with QB1 over here on my team.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Devin Duvernay was one of my depth roll guys. Hard to say depth roll, but I mean it's he might be able to take out Marquise Goodwin on the number one spot. But I'm a big Marquise fan. Yeah,
one.
You need to stop putting my picks up, okay? Stop putting my picks on the board, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and solidify my starting lineup, and I'm really pissed that you took Jermichael Finley earlier, my favorite tight end of the University of Texas. But I'm gonna take one of my other favorites, Jatavian Sanders. Not a bad one.
No, that's another matchup issue. In Alabama.
Speed is the theme on this team.
Yeah, man. I can see that. There's a lot of it. How much depth do you want to do? You want to do like 15 picks, 13, 14? What do y'all think?
I'm down to go past 15 if y'all want to, but I just threw 15 up there just as a.
No, I like this. It's solid.
Let's keep it rocking.
Well, going with another big receiver, another All-American, Kwame
Cavill. Dog. That's a really good pick. I considered him a little bit earlier. Dog. Was first getting into Texas football. Kwame was that dude.
He really was.
So it's pretty salty wide receiver set you can throw out there, Drew.
Oh, I have a really good quarterback who can distribute the ball well, get these guys ball in space. So, you got to make sure you're using everything you got.
Golly, man. That's pretty salty, man. Really well done.
We just put this team together somehow. Cool. Let's see. What do I need?
It's not what do you need, it is what do you want to this point. I think you've got an all-in offensive line, Heisman Trophy winner in the backfield with another 4-time 1,000-plus yard rusher. Your quarterback at one point was the most accurate quarterback in college football history. Also had more wins than any other college player ever up until Kellen Moore. Yeah, you're doing all right.
doing all right. A little bit.
Right.
Just.
I mean, we've got accolades over here too, but my Lord.
Well, I guess he's a defender. I was thinking about a specialist if we're going to plug in a specialist here in this spot, but I don't want to do that.
Do what you want, brother. If you've earned that right.
Let's see here. What route do I want to go? If I'm going to go a guy, I'm just thinking punt returner here. I got to go with my boy, Deshaun Jameson. That wouldn't.
I like it. I like
Deshaun. I don't know how.
Hold on. Do you want to save him for a specialist?
I can save him for a specialist. I was just thinking, what do we need for this squad to build out before I keep digging more depth?
Drew wants to win a title right now. I love it.
Hey, my NIL bag is huge over here. I can go get whatever I want. There are no limits.
Oh man.
All right. Let's see. What route am I going next? Okay. I got my backs solid, my quarterback solid. I love my O-line, wide receivers. Guys, I'm sorry about this, but
do it.
I literally could just keep going receivers, but I am going to go with another back because, unfortunately, I know in today's game, you play multiple backs. You don't get all the snaps that they got back in the day. But then I just love watching this kid play during a very dark time in Texas football. So Deontay Foreman.
Christ, man. I love it.
All right,
so
pick. This is where something's wrong with us, and I'm going running back as well. I was I was scared, sweating. I was going to go someone else completely until I thought, I'm like, wait, we didn't pick this guy? I'm getting Earl Campbell. I'm getting Earl Campbell in the 13th round. What are we talking about here?
Decent value there, Mr. Nash.
Yeah,
hey, question for you. Question for you, Drew, who was the player that you said you thought you could get a lot of value of later on? Was that Deshaun or was it Vermont? Or earlier you said that
no, I honestly it was Gunnar Helm. I thought he would be flying under the radar, but I figured I could sneak Vermont's in, but Gunnar was the one I was like, okay, let's hope we.
What's wrong?
No, I like it. I can't believe Gunnar went this late, just with the way recency biases and everything that, especially Nash and I. Gunner's one of my favorite Longhorns of all time. And
yeah, man.
Shocking he made it that far.
That we weren't going to be taking tight ends for, I was like, you know what? They're probably going to, y'all already, because you had David Thomas. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe there's going to be some tight ends that fall later on. And I also like Jermichael Finley. And then y'all screwed the hell out of that plan.
I'm building the ultimate NIL roster.
It's working. It is working.
Add Arch Manning.
All right. Is it me for 2 picks?
Yeah, you're got 2.
All right. Sorry. We'll go back to the spreadsheet here. All right. 2 more here. Okay. So I'm going to take a gentleman who was really good in the slot for Texas during the 2005 National Championship campaign. Another teammate of Mr. Kelson's, one Billy Pittman. Billy, man, had some big games. Huge touchdown against Ohio State early on. The touchdown against Oklahoma. That man. And once again, he's played with Quan Cosby. So bringing the boys back together here. And now
a lot of continuity on that roster right there.
We're trying, man. Keep everybody close, familiar. You know, Bijan's kind of the lone cat that hasn't played with anybody here. I guess Duvernay as well. But now, much to credit to the crowd here and to you boys, we're going to build some depth, and we're going to roll out there and take one Archavius Vincent McManning. Throw down Arch on there. We're going to go ahead and just in case, Sam, maybe Tom Herman does get that OC job. Maybe he interviews really damn well, and then Sam gets pounded, running the ball 40 times off tackle to the right again, and we got to get Arch some reps. We need another QB. So, little QB depth.
I don't hate it.
I can't hate it.
I don't love it, but
I mean, you might be able to throw two quarterbacks out there.
Don't play with us.
I think we've gotten accustomed to some things, though. I mean, if you think about the quarterbacks we've had, Colt used his legs much more as time went on. I mean, quarterbacks that are mobile have always been something that has been dynamic for us when we've seen it work. Sam Ehlinger didn't have some of the support we wish he had, but I mean, his legs and his toughness, amongst other things, were the difference in really those years being darker than it would have been. So I do think when you see Arch Manning, his athleticism, the way he can even move in the pocket, that's really the main thing. It's just it kind of it's on the opposite end of some of the things we've seen. Not to knock Quinn at all, but he's different.
No, I think a lot of people are going to agree there. Just the name Manning, you know and expect him to throw the football pretty dang well, and then just like you said, you add that extra dimension of him being able to use legs, which we've already seen him do a little bit. You talked about Colt, much running the football a lot more later in his career, and one thing that Colt did is he put on a lot of weight, a lot of muscle, and he went out there and not only at times ran around people, but a couple times ran through defenders. And so as Arch continues to develop his body, I no doubt that Arch will be a big time asset, obviously with his legs as well. Should be really, guys. Can't wait. Nash, go ahead, brother, man. If you got one,
I'm going to continue the theme with the speed. I'm going to take the guy that might be. I know Xavier Worthy tested as the fastest, but this guy might be the fastest in Longhorn history. Old school reference right here, Johnny Lamb Jones.
Johnny Lamb.
Well played there.
Johnny Lamb Jones.
Got to respect for dipping in deep into Texas football history here. He's covered a lot more ground than I have.
He's also. Have we had a number 1 overall pick?
Not to my knowledge.
Because he was number 2.
Leonard was number 2 as well.
Vince was.
Vince was 3, wasn't he?
I thought Vince was 2.
I think Vince was 3. It was Mario
Reggie.
Yeah, because it was Tennessee and New Orleans. Yeah, Houston, and then New Orleans. All the drama that unfolded with that. That's solid, Nash. I like it, man. Once again, you continue to put speed on the football field.
Well, I'm going to go another route in case I need, just depending on what I want to do with my offense. I'm going to go with my boy Bo Skaife. Bo Skis.
Hey. Golly, man, you have so much versatility on offense. You can run 5 wide receiver set if you want, and you can trot out little Jordan Collin, Vermont, Kwame Cavill, Gunnar Helm, or you can line up with 3 backs. We said Deontay Foreman, a big tight end set with that. Yeah.
What's crazy? If you look at the players who actually play, we're on the same rosters together.
Yeah, that's what's crazy.
Roy and Sedby, then VY.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that is kind of crazy.
Pigeonhole right here.
Both of us
got to get a guard.
Both lacking a guard. Oh man. All right, Drew, you got one more.
Oh,
this is pick 15. Right. Take your time. Pick 15 coming.
Pick 15. How many receivers do I have? 1, 2, 3. 3 receivers, 2 tight ends. I don't need any deeper on the line. I got my running back set. I'm going to go with someone from this current roster. I can't believe I'm not. Gosh, am I really about to do this? There's a trend here of guys that I think I'm picking up on. I'm going Matt Golden.
Love it, man. That's a great pick. He's a dog and a winner.
I'm going to go Matthew Golden. That 1 year sample size, I say 1 year, we played against him the year before, and I got to see what he can do too.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, he was much better for us than he was even for U of H in certain ways too. Man. So
yeah, I always thought that was kind of funny because you had him and Barron were that was the play that him and Barron got tangled up that caused the first down or first down to be like held back, and I always laughed. I'm like, man, those two they probably had a few extra words to say to each other. They probably
yeah. Oh, probably a few extra little bit in there. That's a great pick, man. Matthew Golden, was fun to watch him take over, kind of as wide receiver 1. And then obviously Quinn trusted him a lot and even banged up in the second half of that Ohio State game, man. He made some big plays down the stretch. Ah, man, wish we had him for another year.
Y'all really limited me with because I'm stuck with tight end. I could go like almost like not like a Caleb Blewett. I'm thinking I'm blanking on the dude's name. Putting on Tom Herman, Cade Brewer. I could go with a Cade Brewer to get some depth, but I'm gonna go with every team needs a culture guy, right? And I'm gonna go with a guy that I'm like, you know what, screw it. This guy blocks well enough that I could put him at tight end if I need to. I'm gonna give me some Jordan Whittington on this team.
Jay Witt.
Every versatile team needs themselves a Jordan Whittington.
Talk about a culture pick right there, buddy.
I love that kid. We're seeing him in high school and coming from an area of Texas where you really don't see just elite guys, like the way he owned that roster, the way he played. Goodness, between he and my boy from Hallettsville, because I used to go out to Sheridan, Texas often, so I'm familiar with that area a bit. Between he and goodness, I'm saying Hallettsville and what's my running back's name?
Jonathan Brooks.
Jonathan Brooks, Hallettsville. Goodness, yeah, Jordan Whittington built different. Jonathan Brooks different. Shout out to those guys from that area. I wish we could find more guys from that area.
I hate to say this. Can I change the pick? I'm asking you all gentlemanly position. Nope.
Okay. Jonathan Brooks is off.
I'm not going. No, I'm not going Brooks.
No, I'm teasing you. Go ahead.
I need my backup quarterback as well because you never know how this is going to go down.
There he is.
He's getting an actual offense coordinator this time. Okay, we don't got to worry about this crap about making Gerard Hurd stand back in the pocket. We're not doing that. No. You go be you. We're following the Vince Young game plan here. Go win football games. That is, of course, if Vince Young gets injured.
I mean, that's solid. That's a solid pick.
Damn, Ghost. You got Bijan and Jay Charles.
Oh, wait. Yo, hold on. Who's your left guard?
y'all know, and Nash knows this, man. But I've always been I'm a huge fan of the scat back type player. And not saying that either one of those are them, but they kind of are on crack. Like they're just the big steroided version of a scat back. They run the ball a lot better, and then they can still go out of the backfield. That's why I love Vermont's Taylor so much. You could ask him to do almost anything, but yeah, with Bijan's hands and then Charles' ability to catch the ball out of the backfield and run a wide variety of routes out of the backfield as well. Man, that last drive in the first half of I know we've talked about this, but the last drive of the first half of the Ohio State game, and the year that y'all won, those couple of just little dump offs from Vince to Jamal Charles, led to a field goal, which obviously in the end mattered a whole lot there. Right there, to me, I was like, man, as a freshman, this dude's he's catching the ball in the backfield, turning upfield, putting his pads down. He broke a couple tackles there. On one of them, he kind of squirted away for a little bit, but fun times, man. I wish I could watch JC run the ball again.
So Drew,
nice.
who's your left guard?
I'm trying to decide that right now because I kind of have some.
I'm asking Drew.
Are you asking?
Sorry.
Yeah. Who do you want?
I thought I picked my guards. I have a center. I'll have 3.
You want to take Golden off?
Yeah, we can take Golden off. Just give me a guard in there. Actually, I thought I had a guard. Okay. Well, I mean, I probably would have picked a guard last anyway, for being honest.
Aiden Connors.
Jonathan.
The screen.
Where am I? What am I? Let me look at my draft board really quick, guys. Don't want to mess anything up here. This is really important work we're doing.
Guys, just getting some gems in the chat.
Am I?
So I was looking at Jerry Sizemore earlier. Sam Cosme. Give me Cosme.
Dang it. Let's say that's tough. Yeah, I regret that because I probably would have snagged Cosme a couple of rounds ago if I could have thought of him. What's
funny earlier, and I forgot to come back to him earlier, I was struggling between going Jay Scott or Sam Cosme.
I'm gonna pretend that I was always taking my buddy Calvin Anderson. I'd already thought of Sam Cosme as my right tackle.
You need a culture guy.
Yeah. Calvin's a great dude. That's a good pick.
I definitely, when I was looking at, I was like, who do I want to pick? I was like, who are the guys who, when you watch them on film, it's like, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, what do you even do with them? And I definitely think you get that across the first, especially the skill players. Man.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. Looking at
it'd be Roy Williams, like you're just like, what do I do with them?
Oh yeah, your skill positions are striking fear in the heart of all defense coordinators.
Yeah. Let me make my last pick, and then we can discuss a little bit if that's cool with you, gentlemen. And good pick on the Sam Cosme. This man played on a team. Probably the best year he had was a really dark year in Texas football. But give me Patrick Vahi. I want a little nasty at guard. I want somebody that's not afraid to get out and pull and do some of the dirty work. And again, kind of a culture guy, what type of energy you're getting with Pat every single time. So yeah, we had to fill out that offensive line that I thought we would do in the first, to be honest, 7 or 8 picks. That was my plan. So kudos to you guys for slowing me down on that, because 2 of my first 4 were offensive linemen. And then 3 of my top 7 were offensive linemen. So, but y'all jumped on that train too. And, that was fun. I'm glad we did that. Now, upon initial impressions, I'm going to be honest with you, terrified of Drew Kelson's team. Absolutely terrified. I'm thinking, like, as a defensive coordinator, and the way that Drew was just thinking, what the hell are you going to do with any of that? With Nash, I'm going to be honest with you, I would try to be really physical with his wide receivers, smaller, undersized guy, except for Roy. Be real physical at the line of scrimmage, a lot of pressing, put a lot of pressure on Vince. I'm not saying it will work. I'm just saying what we would try. Though, at least we have a plan. Yeah, it does, exactly. And it's going to be, he's going to have a lot of big plays, but we might also have a lot of negative plays. We feast or famine. With you, my friend,
simulate all this.
Prayer, nothing but prayers. Think about it as a defensive coordinator. If somebody trotted out, it doesn't. You could line up Bo Scape for Sam Cosme at quarterback in this situation. When you're talking about the offensive line and then the skill talent have. But yeah, I'm done ranting. Tell me what you guys think about the rosters that we put together here for the offensive side.
It's fun. I think it's funny how when you look across the spectrum, like different eras and how different players were used. So, some of the guys here, we feel like, man, the talent was there, but maybe we didn't get enough of them. We wish we could have gotten more of them. I mean, I was looking at Colin Johnson and Lil Jordan. Those are two guys I love seeing. But when you talk about Patrick Vahi, I think about some guys. It's like, man, what if he had different coaching? Like if he got developed in the same way as some of the recent guys we have.
Well said.
There's so much that goes into what success looks like, man. This is these are some names. I think. Listen, you put VY on any team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look. All I'm saying is, okay, I got Vince Young and Earl Campbell running behind this offensive line. I understand. I understand, Ghost. You're sitting there saying we're going to be physical with the wide receivers.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Don't mess around with my wide receivers all you want, all day long. I don't give a shit.
I'm saying we're gonna blitz the line of scrimmage, and that's the only hope that. But at least we have some type. There is something that we can at least maybe have a plan for. With maybe I'm not saying it will work. Yeah, I didn't realize your offensive line. I mean, that's pretty. You even got depth on your line. Impressive.
I know. He got two centers.
Look, I can look. See, for all the bad things that I don't have about tight end, I can just throw Jake out there at tight end and we can call it a day. Just block that.
You know what's funny, guys? But I think what's funny is offense was really hard because you really start reaching for depth, and there's so many different things stylistically you can do. I'm looking forward to defense because there's a lot of we had a lot of depth to work with there and different things there. But
I think the defense is going to be real because especially like with the history of Texas football. There's going to be a lot of good defense to choose from. I think it's going to be really interesting to watch the different approaches.
Oh man, this is man. But a lot of these guys we're naming. I mean, not everybody. We need more offensive, and we're getting them. We're definitely getting them. But I'd like to see some more All-American receivers.
You look at what you're just talking about. We've got 45 guys drafted, and going down your team, Drew. It took we got 1, 3. Wow, we've got 4 guys that have played football for Texas in the last 15 years, and then our list looked just similar. So just making your point, a lot of this is based. A ton of these guys are 2000 to 2008, 2009. We've got a lot of cats in that time frame, and that was a really good era for Texas football. So obviously that makes a lot of sense. And so, really well said on that part. And my favorite thing that Drew has said so far is, look at some of these guys, and you look at a Sam Ehlinger. And no, I'm not trying to boost my team, but what does Sam Ehlinger look like with maybe a little better development? More talent, around him as far as the skill positions. Not that he was necessarily lacking, but what Texas has now, Sam might look like a little bit different of a quarterback. And look at Lil Jordan Humphrey from Drew. Like that guy would be a dog in a Sarkisian offense, an absolute problem. And so, you could make a case for a lot of them. Roy Williams in a spread offense and not a Greg Davis offense, with all due respect to Greg Davis out there. That's a cool thing to think about, is what these guys could have looked like. And makes me a little bit sad for the ones that kind of didn't struggle maybe personally, but as far as a team goes, Texas struggled and want all these guys to win. But Nash, what are you thinking, brother?
Man, I'm happy with my team. That's all I'm going to say. Is I'm really happy with my team. Man, this is really fun to do. This is like I can't wait to do the defense. But yeah, this is it really it was an exercise that really really starts to make you think. It makes you think in ways that you kind of hadn't really thought before. But I'll say this too, like you were saying about Sam Ehlinger. Maybe if these guys had different situations, I kind of wonder, how would Shane Buechele have done if he had my offensive line right here? He really just didn't even have a fair shot at Texas because it was no offense to here, but he had Jake McMillan and Tristan Nicholson blocking for him, and that just wasn't really working out that well.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing that, you can think about. You say that for a lot of guys that aren't even on these lists, like Nash just said with Shane Buechele, and you had, probably 90% of our fan base screaming and clamoring for Sam Ehlinger to go ahead and take the reins. And it was definitely tough on Shane. That's a good pull there. He definitely threw a really, really pretty deep ball, man.
Gosh, man.
No offense to Quinn Ewers, but you put Shane's deep ball on Quinn's arm these last couple of years. Look at maybe it's a little bit even better, but no Quinn Ewers on the list. I know that might, and no, there's no. I don't think there's any. You only have 4 quarterbacks, 5 quarterbacks. Okay, now it's getting personal. 5 quarterbacks on the list. I love the Gerard Hurd pick because once again, another guy that is a freak athlete who, with the right coaching and in the right offense, has a skill set that can do a lot of things. And you could play him at wide receiver if you want.
That's what I was going to say.
Play him at running back.
In the theme of versatility and playmakers with the ball in their hands. Because here's the deal: I saw people saying they're saying to go with I'm blanking on the name again. I'm having to scroll here. I just did a thing. Dejae Johnson.
Oh yeah.
That guy,
another guy,
electric with the ball in his hands. There's a lot of ways that you could have gone. I could have gone, but I'm happy with how it turned out. I think honestly, the only way I really, if I could have done anything, is if you could have just screwed off and not picked Jamal Charles, and I could have got Jamal Charles instead of Eric. That would have made my team perfect because
there were 2 people, Nash, coming into this draft that I said I would not leave here without. One being the hometown guy, Leonard Davis, and 2, Mr. Jamal. Jamal is my favorite Longhorn of all time. I was going to every game home and away back then when Jamal was in school, Colt was in school, Drew Kelson was around. And I'll never forget, man, Nebraska, obviously at DKR in 2007. We had an offensive line that really struggled that year. 200-plus yards in the fourth quarter. We talked about that last night. But then the game at Oklahoma State had a massive run. Broke off the big run as a freshman against Oklahoma. We couldn't really get over that Oklahoma team, obviously, for several years there. And then that run against OU where he kind of gets wrapped up, breaks free, spins out of it, and scores. That was like the moment to me where it was like, they're cooked. This over. Like they can't. It's different now. And so, yeah, I'll talk about Jamal all day. That's my dude. So sorry, Nash. He's a ghost.
2007 run. That was one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite memories.
Yep.
I was there at the stadium with my dad watching that. That was really cool to watch that.
That was real fun for me as well down in the north end zone. I was my season tickets were one row. And we changed after 1 year of this. One row behind the visiting team's band. So every conference game, we're like right there. And so they were Nebraska was having a great time for 3.5 quarters. And that last 10 minutes was rough, man.
Who I want to ask the chat this. Who do you think had the best pick?
The overall best pick?
Yeah, overall best pick.
Okay. So if you
I'm not going to try and influence anybody right there, but let me just
Evan, let me tell you, man, I'll address the Chris Sims thing. For me, it's a matter of Chris, to me, was one of the best that's ever played for Texas and a guy that I would always want on the football field. It's just when the game seemed to mean more as far as Oklahoma, the Big 12 championship game with Colorado. You're talking about a guy that didn't beat Oklahoma once and lost to that Colorado team that we beat by 34 points the first time we played them back in October of that year. And so I think, he receives a ton of criticism. I get it. He said some things about Texas after leaving. I get why people feel the way they do, but that's why personally I didn't have him on my list. Mr. CB, the Longhorn legend, says Vincent Paul Young Jr. Hard to argue that one. I'm going to take some credit here. Yeah,
you should have seen Nash's smile when I went Ricky.
Well, because like when you're talking about a team, like from the very beginning, I'm thinking like, okay, I want speed, right? I want to get those speed wide receivers, and then so I get Vince Young, and then I get Roy Williams, and after that, I'm like, okay, well, wait a second, let me get the offensive line because there's actually quite a few options that you can go to with speed in Texas.
Yep.
And then I started messing around with that too much and get Jamal Charles taken off the board. But yeah, I was like, who you between Colt McCoy and Vince Young? I'd rather have Vince Young because Colt McCoy, he probably, as far as the ability to get the ball out to multiple people, probably the best. But for a guy that I want to be able to run the option, not saying that Colt can't do that, but nobody can do it better than Vince.
I didn't expect to have to face you and Vince and Roy. I wasn't expecting
and Earl.
That's pretty nuts.
Drew, I mean, Ghost is trying to protect Sam Ehlinger at his 10th pick. He picked Leonard Davis to protect his 10th pick quarterback.
Okay, that's how much I trust Big
Leonard. But hey, you need a left tackle.
Gotta have a left tackle.
Pancake Factory, baby.
Hey, he was drafted 2nd overall in the NFL draft. I think he's good enough for 3rd overall in the old Ghost and Friends. Drew, can you answer this for Chris before I lose it? Did Jamal say anything? Did he make a comment or anything about this with making Peterson forget that or making everyone forget that?
I can't. I have no idea what Chris is referencing, but we probably said everything during that time. So
I'm sure
I wouldn't be shocked if something was said or something came out like that, at least.
Well, let me tell you this, Clint. You're correct. Miami was going to absolutely boat race any team that they played. 2001 was one of the craziest finishes to a college football season that I can remember, and none of it mattered because whoever eventually got the number 2 spot played Miami was going to get a beating, and that was the Nebraska Cornhuskers. But yeah, good point here, Evan. Sam definitely had a great chance to take down one of the greatest teams we've seen in the last, maybe ever in college football. They played LSU as good as anyone did that year.
Also, look, I love Sam, right? Sam, Longhorn legend, right? He's from Austin. Fan favorite type guy, right? Tom Herman, if you knew how good Joe Burrow was the entire time, why did you not go get him when he was trying to transfer from Ohio State, right? Because Tom Herman was he was the guy that stood on the table for Joe Burrow to make it to Ohio State in the first place. But Tom, if you knew Joe was that good, you gotta you just gotta get the best guy.
I don't think he knew or anybody knew until Joe went and developed for a year or did something. I don't know what the hell happened between the year he got to LSU and then the next year
went to a voodoo doctor or something.
Dude,
he was throwing routes open that night at DKR. I had a friend that he had broken his leg, and so for the first time in my life, we sat in the handicap section in the north end zone at DKR, and so it was kind of like an all 22 view of the whole game. And I was turning around to the LSU section was right behind us, and I was like, when did he start doing this? And now, I mean, Joe was incredible, but don't forget who the hell he's throwing to. You're throwing to Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson.
Right.
I mean that those guys are going to do a pretty dang good job of getting open and finding holes in the defense.
And Terrace Marshall.
Which
is funny because Terrace Marshall gets overlooked so much, but for a college wide receiver that year, especially, that's probably a year that's good enough he's probably good enough to be a starter on any other team and be the number 1 wide receiver.
What's crazy though is Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, they still can't stop him. In the NFL,
they know
haven't been stopped yet.
It's like that's one of the cool things about Justin Jefferson too. Is
that's rare, dude.
He's not this guy that is going to go out there and he's not going to blow you away with super fast speed, right? But he just does everything correct, right? All the small detail. He's a great example of the devil's in the details. Him and Jerry Rice, right? If you get the details right, like a Cooper Kupp, you get the details right, you're going to be open and you're going to be trusted.
It's just I can never get over how rare is it for wide receivers to translate to the NFL and actually be productive. But then to have 2 of the best wide receivers in the NFL, they played on the same team in college.
Well, I mean, you look at Devin Duvernay. Devin Duvernay had a hell of a year in college that same year with them, and he went into the NFL, and he's a test. Like he's still a really good wide receiver, right? But he's a great example of how thin the margin is between a great wide receiver and a superstar wide receiver.
And he was in a pretty good system for him there with Baltimore for a while, where his straight line speed, that run game, you get so many one-on-one matchups. And so it matters where you're drafted, who you're with, as y'all talked about. But when you're Justin Jefferson and you're Jamar Chase, it almost doesn't matter where you're drafted or almost, who's even throwing you the football. Those guys are going to get there. So guys, that was a blast. I had a ton of fun. Next week, we will do a defensive episode. We'll have 15 players drafted on the defense. I got a whole week to try to game plan how to draft to stop either one of these guys' teams because it's going to take a week to do so and probably take more time and maybe even a bigger player pool because they've loaded up. But thank you guys. Appreciate everyone in the comments. If y'all don't mind, hop over and like the video. That does a lot of help for us. All you guys have switched over from Twitter to YouTube. Appreciate that as well. That also helps. But thanks most importantly for being here, for being active in the chat. Evan, thanks. Appreciate it, man. It means a lot, those comments. Clint, Chris, all you guys. Any final words, gentlemen, before we get out of here?
I think I already got a game plan for my defensive team. I'm ready.
What's the draft order? We can sort that out.
We're running it back 1 through 3. Mr. Kelson, Nash, and myself. We'll do that same thing. So you got a whole week, Drew. Think about who you're taking as your first pick here. Guys, we'll post I'll get the offensive teams posted tomorrow. That way you can go ahead and take a look at them and we can go ahead and debate a little bit. But then after next week, we'll take a vote on who did the best. But once again, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching Ghost and Friends. Go like the video and have a blessed night. Hook 'em.